Good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Sunday, May the 18th. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful day. At least it's a beautiful day here in the Northeast. When I went out this morning, I couldn't believe how beautiful the air was, and birds were chirping, and the sun was shining. There's not a cloud in the sky. Always something positive must be brought into every day. I know I start this way, usually most mornings. But as I always say to you, I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you. I need to remind myself as well. So the dog's running out there this morning, enjoying the day, and always good to start our day with a smile. It helps our foundation. With that, I'm going to ask you now to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. John, chapter 13, verses 31 to 35. When Judas had left them, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and God will glorify him at once. My children, I will not be with you only for a little while longer. I give you a new commandment: love one another as I have loved you, so that also you should love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." I have probably mentioned to you my background in martial arts. And in my office, I always had this picture wherever I worked: a martial artist kneeling in what's known as Seiza position, and Jesus standing over him with his arms outstretched as if praying for him. I always believe there's a connection. For those who really understand martial arts, it's not about violence. It's not. It's mostly about love. You work all this time on techniques that you go out of your way never to use, but you work on yourself, your heart, your love. And you work on that. You work on your techniques, and you do self-improvement, and you reach out to others. It's more about healing than anything else. But what's most important, I think, that relates to the gospel as well today, is that I have had two major teachers: Shihan, which is Japanese, and Sifu right now, which is Chinese. Two different arts I've studied, mostly the Japanese one, but now the Chinese one. And any good teacher doesn't hold your hand forever. They leave you with things and expect you to go and do the work. So right now, my Sifu asks me when I meet with him or a lesson each week, "Tell me about your practice." He expects me to take what I took from him last week, put it into practice all week, and show him that I've made some progress, and ask questions so I can continue to make more progress. Our real teacher becomes ourself. And isn't that the same exact thing that's going on in the gospel today? In the gospel today, Jesus says, "I'm not going to be with you much longer." He's about to ascend back to heaven. And he's telling, listen, you need to do the work. You need to be your own teacher. You need to learn from yourself. And I give you a lesson. And unlike my martial arts training, which is different lessons along the way, the gospel comes down to love and compassion. And that's what Jesus says. Okay, I'm leaving you. You become your teacher. You learn more about love and compassion in your daily walk, and then you'll be my disciple. That should be our goal. Love and compassion. Very much used words all the time. Love is used so much, but how much is it really put into practice? And as we know, my friends, it's not about loving the easy situations. Jesus walked through 3 years of ministry with the most difficult situations in front of him. People who did not believe, people who wanted to kill him, and he continued to love. And that is what he's teaching us to do, and leaving that with us. And yes, we can find it in our daily walk. Again, going back to martial arts philosophy, there was a story about a Zen master who was walking along and saw a pond. And in the pond, a scorpion was drowning. He knew that if he picked up the scorpion, placed it on a rock, that it would sting him. And sure enough, it did. A young grasshopper was watching this, and as the scorpion scurried along on the rock, well, he fell in the water again. The Zen master picks up the scorpion again and gets stung again, and this time places the scorpion so he could take off and not fall back into the water. The grasshopper couldn't help himself and says, "Okay, look, you need to explain this one to me. You knew the scorpion was going to sting you. Why did you do it twice and save him twice?" And he said, "Yes, that may be the scorpion's nature to sting, but my nature must remain the same for love and compassion to all creation. So regardless of what I knew the scorpion was going to do, I needed to be true to myself, true to love and true to compassion." My friends, there are many scorpions out there. Some of them are quite big, some of them are going to sting pretty hard. But there's plenty of us to apply our trade, if you will, and learn and teach ourselves that are smaller scorpions, learning as we go through day-to-day life that we are Jesus' disciple by loving one another regardless of who they are and offering compassion as much as we possibly can. Oh yes, the teacher is on his way back to heaven, and we are here to be our own teacher. But there are plenty of opportunities in front of us to apply our trade of being loving, compassionate individuals to all of God's creation each day. And by doing so, we will not only find that we are becoming Jesus' disciple, we will find true peace in our hearts. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Sunday. As always, I hope it was helpful. I always welcome and appreciate your comments and your thoughts, but I always appreciate more you just being here with me. I will be back with you on Tuesday with an animal spirituality video where we will continue our healing discussions on the Gospel of St. Luke and my baby girl, Shelby. In the meantime, I wish you all a wonderful and blessed Sunday, and I will see you back here soon. Take care.